How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to episode 17 of Echoes of Ragnarok. I am Dragyn Jane, the Heavy Metal Game Master, and the Game Master for this whole affair. This game is it's a TTRPG live stream played in my own world of Hymgard using the Fantasy Age system. I'd like to introduce our wonderful players. As always, we have Mooley.
Hi, my name is Mootley, and I'm playing Ada, and everything is fine, and I never do anything dodgy.
Never imagine an entirely new person that definitely wasn't.
The epitome of making people scaroused.
Yeah. Mac.
Hello everyone, I'm Forge Father Mac. I am playing Hugo DCD Smith, and he is your smart boy dwarf who likes to build things and deconstruct others.
And lube.
And lube.
Not forget lube.
Okay, it was grease, not lube. But
I don't know how far you've watched Dylan, but yeah, there's been.
It was a tactical play.
Rogue.
Hello, I am the Overworked Rogue. I play Eric of Midgard. I am the Earl of Gout, Lies, and also resident Victorian child twink looking dude.
Mm-hmm. And our new player, as our good friend Frax had to drop out of the game, very unfortunately and very sadly. We have our new player, Dylan.
Hi everyone, I'm Dylan. I'm playing Torfin today, our new fighter warrior, because my lord, did we need one. Super excited to come in and stand in front of everyone and take some hits. Yeah.
Squishy,
Hell
okay?
yeah.
Don't mock our squishiness. It's something we're sensitive about.
No.
After catching the last couple of episodes, I was like, yeah, the warrior's going to come in real nice.
Yep.
Very well.
It's gonna be real good.
Yeah.
New person, new nickname to be determined. But yes, thank you all very much for dropping in and continuing to watch. This has been a really crazy journey. I did not think we were going to get to 17 episodes, but here we are. Once again, I would just like to shout out that none of this would be possible without our wonderful affiliates. Amongst which we have the wonderful Arkenforge, who are an Australian run company who make wonderful software and toolkits to make your own TTRPG maps that can be used in person or online. If you use the code METALGM on checkout, you can get $5 off the starter pack. Start using it today. It's really good. I make all of the maps that you see in this series with Arkenforge. But with that all said, let's jump in to episode 17 of Echoes of Ragnarok.
Yes!
Who would like to recap our last session?
We want to kill a child.
Now,
I didn't sign up for this.
Dylan just immediately disconnects.
You're a part of it now.
a lot happened last episode, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to try and cover a few points. They may not be in the correct order, but if anyone wants to jump in, just do it, okay?
I got this. Go ahead.
Okay, so we got back. We're alive. We managed to survive being in the underground after we defeated the big bad evil people, which we're very happy about. There was a few arguments based on necromancy and how it shouldn't exist, and the difference in opinions between Eric and Hugo.
Small ones. It's fine.
Small ones, just small differences in opinion. No arguments. From what I remember, Hugo's brother dropped by and left a glitter bomb because the party did split up and go their separate ways after coming out of the ground. Hugo went home and encountered his brother, who destroyed his sandblaster, but left him a gift, a thunderstone, which I believe Sasha needed for an invention, where Hugo took it to the crowbar, where he gave it to Ada. Ada, would you like to describe what you did last session?
Just quickly, because
Also
it has been
saga,
said
my bad.
a couple of times now. It's saga.
Saga. I was looking at my notes. It's been a hot minute. Okay?
It was last time when you were like, "I'm gonna go see Sasha." I'm like, "Who the is Sasha?"
I would like to make it very clear. I work with like 15 people for the last 2 years. I only know 5 of their names accurately.
Yeah.
I'm terrible with names.
I'm just dumb. Don't remember anything.
Yes. So the 4 of you returned from the underground below Vartengada, through which you found what appeared to be at least a part of Naglfar, which was overrun with what can only be described as bone beetles. You then found Olaug, and managed to, just in the nick of time, stop his ritual, and saved... It's been a minute. Hold on a second.
Oh, really?
Really?
It's almost like it's hard to remember.
Mr. Gunderson?
Mr. Gunderson, that's right. Arnold Gunderson, that's the one.
Mm-hmm.
Upon returning, you handed over Arnold to the Varg, who informed that they would pass him on to Bragi, or to the authorities, essentially. Yes, then finding the Thunderstone, passing it on to Saga, and then finding the crowbar to drink for the rest of the night, you all eventually turned in, finding some of you finding your homes not exactly as you left them, as a visit from an old friend to our wonderful Ada revealed a bit of a revelation in as far as the whereabouts, or not so much, of one of her wayward children. Cool. So it has now been, at this stage, almost a week since these events. If there is anything that the 3 of you would have liked to have done in that time, I'm happy for you to go on about that. But essentially the last week has been gradually yet not so surprisingly quickly, the town has sort of just resettled. Essentially, there was a few days of some like trepidation and a bit of caution in the streets following what was, to most people, considered, to the vast majority of the town, considered a slight tremor in the earth that no one can really explain other than just a quake of some kind.
It's fine.
Saga,
It
that
wasn't a bomb.
explosive was...
It wasn't a bomb. It's fine, guys. The earth just shakes sometimes. That's that.
But then also, but essentially, like, with no follow-ups and no seen chaos from or like reaction from the authorities, the town seemed to just melt back into normality.
Complacency.
And we now... Hang on, I've moved around some stuff now. So, however, on this particular day, as each of you rises in the morning. Getting ready to start your day. Through the usual hubbub of locals and traders rummaging through the streets of Vartengada, a new figure strolls, almost aimlessly, through the streets in the morning light. It seems somewhat just wandering with purpose, but a purpose that perhaps he's not aware of, at least yet. Dylan, would you like to introduce Torfin for us?
Absolutely. A rather large gentleman, strapped with heavy leather. Oh, he actually's got a new packer plate in the back, just waiting to get it fitted out properly this evening. Wandering the streets, having been pulled here by something, Torfin finds that he often finds himself in the wrong place at the right time for nefarious magical undertakings to be thwarted by him. Handy with a sword and 2 pistols. Wondering, seeing what life's throwing at him today, because he seems to just stumble into the problems no matter where he goes.
Cool. You strolling into Vartengada. This is a for your understanding, it is also for anyone tuning in. If you're tuning in now, it's a weird place to start, but Vartengada is almost like the centralmost citadel to Hymgard. It is this like harbor town on the main river that runs quite literally from the very northern tip to the southern coast. It is a melting, and as such, it is understandably a melting pot of culture as well as a major trade hub. Generally, the consensus across most of Hymgard, but especially in Vartengada, is if you can't buy it in Vartengada, it doesn't exist. Not necessarily true, but it for the most part holds up. Like, it will be there at some point. Strolling through the town, it seems, so the morning trade is opening up, different sort of market stalls and townsfolk wandering around you, wandering around this large open harbor in the middle of the area. You see various boats, even on the water, that are trading between themselves or waiting to dock so that they can offload their wares. You're unsure why you're here. You are wondering, and there's just been this feeling. There's been, like you've had several times before, almost this sort of tug in this direction of, you've just, like, in very much in that, like, you followed your feet and you have ended up here.
Yep.
But now, standing in the middle of this town, you're looking around, and it seems that sort of pull stops here. Like, it is more or less like you no longer have a direction.
Yeah, when I stop feeling that pull, I literally just take my pack off, set it down, and then just wait.
Mm-hmm.
Just wait. I know that something is coming either for me, or I will see something that's going to be pulling me next, but I just let the flow of the chaos just wash over me and just enjoy the quiet moment I might have for now.
Mm-hmm. Can you roll me a perception test, please?
Certainly.
Bro's giving himself over to the Force. Guide me.
Yep. I add all 3 dice, or just the 2 that aren't the stun?
No, all 3.
All 3? Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. It's good then. For perception, that will be 13.
13. Cool. You, stroll, leaning up against one of the posts on this sort of pier. Looking around, you see that there's everything seems pretty calm. There's a just this sort of like hubbub of people wandering around you, like not really paying you much mind. You see a few people glance your way. More or less, a lot of them you see that look more of the rougher laborer types who seem to sort of glance over, and every so often you see like a look and then a nod that you are, I imagine, more than used to. You notice in between some of the houses, even in this sort of like market district, you notice like shifting movements as what appear to be, a few essentially like street urchins like sort of hunker down and seemingly trying to catch a nap in the side streets and stuff like that. But it seems like a pretty peaceful, calm day.
For now.
Moving over. Which of the three of our amigos wakes up first, do you think? Cool.
The designated early riser.
Mm-hmm.
Probably followed up shortly after. I got a surgery to run.
Mm-hmm.
7 a.m. is a sleep in.
Okay. So you, I imagine at this stage, probably like moving around, like sort of just in your workshop. What are you up to? And if you have been doing anything, what have you been up to for the last week, I guess?
For the last week, Hugo has been going on with a plan that we've all spoken about, but we never got around to because we're all very busy with mind-messing stuff and rage going on in the city. Hugo is trying to make a production line for gout ointments for Eric. So there's a small section of his workshop which he doesn't want to waste any of his space. So Hugo, being in a warehouse, has hoisted himself up and has made not a second level, but jutting out of the wall, there is what you would see as like a production line of things slowly moving down in the corner of his workspace, where he's trying to mimic and incorporate the mechanics that they found of the robot from that, the mechanics workshop.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to incorporate the simple mechanics of that into an automated system for jarring and mixing this ointment. So that you pour the ointment in the top, by the time it reaches the bottom, it is in a corked glass bottle with the label wrapped around it.
Okay. Can you give me 3 engineering checks, please?
His hyperfixation.
I don't like
Starting
that
strong.
giggle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I just upgraded my intelligence, so my engineering is higher.
Mm-hmm.
That is...
Oh no, he's smarter.
I am smarter.
It's learning.
Evolved.
That is 19 for the first one.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
Hubris.
Math. 13 for the second one.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, dear family now. Come on.
Can't tell if it's good or bad.
It's hard to tell with Mac.
Yeah.
Except for when
that
it's really
is-
bad. You know when it's really bad.
That is a 20 for the
Okay.
third roll.
You so like as you're like putting this thing together, like you're remembering like pulling back to the so the robot that you found down in the junction. As you're replicating these pieces and all that, putting it all together, it's you baking something that's essentially like there to mix ointment, essentially.
Yeah, it's a mixing and then just it's a bottling production thing in the corner.
It, as you're like, so putting it all together and you step back and look at it, it's good. It looks, there's like, it's got the different arms moving that will, sort of like move the bottles, move on the ointment, that sort of like, move the hoses and taps. It's not like, it's not pretty by any means, but it's looks, like you're looking at it like you can't find any fault in it by looking at it. As you flick it on, there's this groan as you hear like this sort of that, and there's this brief moment as you like tense for a moment, then it's like, and it starts to move, and it's janky, like it's sort of, however, as
instead of the arms being like that, it's more like a just simple move.
Yeah. It's a very, sort of like marionette puppet, sort of picking up and like moving things around, which also gives you the idea that this thing can be programmed, but it's also like it will do one thing as you've set it up. Like it's not like it will not think, shall we say.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it seems to work.
Okay, sweet. I'm going for like quality instead of quantity. So even if it's probably a slow moving version of what I want it to be.
Yeah.
But
you
have not making any mistakes yet is like,
yeah. You have made like the way I would see it is like you have made the ideal, like the idea of being, you have made a robot cocktail mixer, essentially. Like it is quite literally just he's like, you put in the cocktail that he wants to make and that you want him to make, and he's like, cool, chugga, pour. Like,
I made a production line worker.
Yeah. He will, do whatever is programmed into him to basically, put things together and the movements that he needs to do. But that's, if outside of that, if you were to give him nothing, he's just doing the motions.
Like the classic Clockwork Man that writes the letter, but that's the only thing he can do. I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
Cool. Cool. So seeing that this is now working, what are you doing?
I'm going out for coffee because I have probably been working on this in seclusion, apart from going and picking up orders. Because I wouldn't have made all the rollers and all the bits and bobs. I would have ordered in parts as well to do this because it just takes too much time to get all that done. A week is too much time to make a functioning robot, guys. That's too little time.
Yeah.
So Hugo is going to go out for breakfast.
Yeah. You like, it's more or less that you've like, it doesn't matter. It's fantasy. Who gives a shit?
Oh no, I'm saying that for people who like, if you
So
see this and you think someone can work harder than they can, just remember, people are people.
Yeah, people are people. Cool. So you, happy with your work at this stage, you leave, heading off towards the tavern for breakfast.
I do switch it off on the way out. I switch it off because it doesn't have any brew at the moment. I got to wait for the brew. And then I'm going to set up all my traps in my house, arcane lock my door with my passcode, and leave.
Excellent. Cool. So you head off towards the tavern. Eric.
Probably in this week, Eric has seen a lot of horrendous stuff. Before that, he had a very interesting encounter on that death boat. So he's been kind of, trying to filter the nightmares out. The ones, not like the usual ones. Like, he's not used to that.
There's been some new ones. Yeah.
Yes, there's been added to the list. It's fantastic. Variety is the spice of life, after all. But I think what he would like to do is he would want things to be normal again. So I think he went into a deep dive back into his learning surgery and learning healing magic, and try his best just to put it back to normal. He gets up, he has coffee. He lights a candle for his late mother at an altar in the back. And he just keeps doing jobs no matter what. I think after taking inventory and doing all of his things that he would normally do, he's basically like autopilot. He's a machine at this point. Because the best way to deal with your problems is straight up ignore them.
Yeah.
He probably is going to... he's probably going out to a job, like maybe doing a house call. So I'd say he's packed up his little bag full of like items, trinkets, poultices, and potions, and he's heading out to make a house call.
Okay. Cool. You head out, like gathering all the stuff that you think you'll need, packing your doctor's bag. You head out. Whereabouts are you headed?
I would say I am headed to maybe if there's like construction going on, especially due to the time where things like maybe around the construction area, because a lot of the the theater suffered some damages. There's obviously constructions picking up to fix it. Injuries happen at construction sites. I've probably been called to there.
You got called. It wasn't a theater. It was, you get called to a what would it be? It's like a warehouse.
Yes.
In the outer areas of Vartengard, so away from the water, moving into the areas where, shall we say, like you would know, like in Vartengard, having lived here your whole life, you know that the further you get away from the water, more or less the poorer the accommodation becomes. Like to the point where you have like right out to the outer edges of the walls of Vartengard, and it just gets to like real slums. Like it's there's patches of it that are proper shanty town.
I feel like I frequent here quite a bit. Like I'm very familiar with this area.
More or less, I imagine if and as I feel it may be the case, if Eric outside of his work with the Varg is a charitable soul and a sort of like charitable soul, you are possibly one of the only doctors in the area that will do work for free or very little.
I would say he is that charitable. He'll do it for a much smaller fee.
Yeah.
Guys still got it.
Yeah. You but you make your way out towards this area. As you're on the way, can you also roll me a perception test, please?
Absolutely, I can. Not bad at all. That'll be 12.
12. You, on the way out, there's something as you get further out that, again, the town seems to have, fairly nicely recovered. It's, seemingly like bounced back pretty well. And everything seems pretty normal. There's something as you're walking that you're looking left and right. There's something that feels different, and it feels almost like more cramped. Like it's a bit more like you just sort of, you can't quite place it, but it feels like there's almost you feel slightly claustrophobic, slightly trapped.
Have I seen more of that, like that thing that keeps popping up, like in the corner of my eye? There's always something that I can't really see, but it just goes away just as I'm about to look at it. Have I been seeing that a bit more this past week?
No.
Okay.
No, you haven't actually. But like shaking, sort of shrugging this off, you continue on to one of these construction sites. It's a warehouse that's like right before where many people would consider the slums starts. I'm approaching the area, see a group of workers, sort of like within the warehouse, sort of setting up, or like doing their work. Over to the back, you see a figure standing over. Looks like probably an older gentleman. Sort of gray flecks through his beard. Is standing, just sort of scratching his neck. These sort of well-worn overalls. As he's just looking down at a guy sitting in a chair who's holding his arm. As you can see, he's got like a rag under his arm, and very quickly you can see that it is stained.
Well, I will waste no time. I will stride up to them and look to the older gentleman and ask, like, I assume you're the foreman of this warehouse?
Yes.
What seems to be the issue?
Dog bite.
Dog?
Yeah. Got his arm real good.
It's like, are we talking an actual animal, or are we talking about a piece of machinery?
No, a dog. Like a what was it? A canine? Yeah, yeah. And he looks at the worker, and the worker's like, yeah, big dog.
Oh, jeez. All right, let's have a look. Let's have a look then.
He pulls his hand, pulls his hand away from and pulls the cloth away. And you can see, like, even as it's already stained and such, the wound starts bleeding immediately. Like, it is, like, just a chunk out of his, like, basically the bottom of his bicep.
It's like, how big was this dog precisely?
It's big. Like what sort of? It was a big dog. Like he starts going on his thigh, like on his leg, like about yay high, and he gestures to sort of his like upper thigh. As you stare at him for a moment, you see as he sort of like furrows his brow and like lifts his hand a little bit to like closer to his waist.
I see. Was there anything odd about the dog, foaming at the mouth, unusually aggressive, stuff like that, just in case?
I didn't. You see roll me in perception check real quick.
All right. Can I add searching, just kind of to search, like try to figure out what the...
more of an empathy thing at this point, I think.
No worries.
But yeah.
Oh, not bad at all. That is a 13.
A 13, cool. You can't, I'd say with a 13, you can't quite tell what's going on. Like what the deal is, but you've noticed that it feels like the worker who's on the chair goes to answer a couple times, and as he opens his mouth, like looks at the foreman and sort of then gives an answer, and they seem to like nod at each other like, oh yeah, that was it. Like, it's hard to tell, like he might be in shock or might be like struggling to remember things, but yeah, there's something odd here. But they both sort of go like, oh, I didn't really see, I don't think it was foaming or anything, it was just a big brown dog.
Oh, good. That's good, because if I caught and missed some of my poultices immediately, if something was wrong with the dog, there could be a very nasty infection. It could kill you within days.
Can you roll me a communication test, please?
Yes, I can. Well, if it is rabies, it can advance very quickly. Ooh, I got stunts. Yay. And it's 6 too.
As a tradie, I appreciate this.
It's mommy's dog.
That's a 17.
17. you see as the, like, you mentioned it, like, oh, you know, there could be problems, and both of their eyes widen in this sort of like, what could happen? Like, what could be wrong with the dog? Like, what sort of things would I see? For the dog.
Foaming at the mouth and unusual behavior. Usually very aggressive can happen. Usually the disease is in the dog, but it then trends over with a bite, so then you can get massive infections, actually shaking, hydrophobia. You won't be able to drink water, and then eventually you will your brain would swell, and eventually you would just have seizures until you died.
Right. The man in the chair, like, visibly relaxes and looks up at the foreman and goes like, no, it wasn't like that. He was just kind of weirdly shaped and pale.
Weirdly shaped and pale?
And the foreman, like, immediately jumps, is like, no, he's in shock. It's not, he fucking is seeing things. He was in the alleyway, and he was on his break, he had his lunch, and then he's a bit, you know, he's been working too much, haven't you?
Oh, I absolutely understand. Blood loss can be a very powerful thing to the mind.
Well, I hadn't lost the blood until the dog bit me, you know, like...
Things.
Yes, I see. Well, let's get you fixed up then, shall we? I'm sure that hurts very nastily, and I'm gonna do a surgery check.
Mm-hmm.
It's just gonna be my talent, so just my health back, I guess. Yep. Yeah, I dropped my dice. Okay. But I kind of, as I'm working, I'm kind of looking at the foreman. It's just like, you don't need to, linger. This is the boring part. I can take care of him from here.
Foreman's like, well,
I'm sure you're very busy.
We are, but I don't, you know, I need to take care of my workers and, you know, going above and beyond and making sure that everything's, you know, he's a very member of the team.
It's like, what a lovely boss. I wish mine could be that sweet sometimes. That's a 13, by the way, of just like health back to the person.
Oh, yeah, cool. You like fairly easily like able to. It's tricky at this stage without, you know, like he is like essentially like this is not a cut to stitch up. There's nothing. He is missing a chunk of flesh.
Yes.
So essentially you're able to like as like with gauze or whatever, like a poultice being able to make like bind it up so that it's you know, able to stop the bleeding.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, through various sort of like poultices and ointments, you're fairly sure it should heal. He will not be working for a little while though.
No, that's something I would definitely inform. It's like he'll need to stop working today, and he'll need to come by the surgery every about week or so, just so I can check and there's no risk of infection. Try to keep that dry.
Right, of course. Yes, and he turns and is just like, you know, takes a bit of a sort of a more authoritarian stance. He's like, Jenkins, you are on, what do we call it?
Leave.
No, you don't leave. I'm just saying that he's on leave.
Yes.
Yes. You are on leave until the good doctor,
Eric.
Clears you for active duty. Go home, get some rest, and take care of that arm. There might be plenty of dogs out there, so be careful.
Yes, I would avoid them. Here is the address to my surgery. You can come by in about a week or so, and I just fold it up, but I sneak a message in there, and it's like, if you want to talk about what happened, please come see me.
He like takes the note and is like, thank you, and yeah, Righto. He gets up and just wanders out of the building.
I shake hands with the foreman. It's like, pleasure to be of service. Please do spread the word of my services.
Of course. Happy to help. However, Doctor
Eric.
Yes. We will let the boys know. Oh. He turns around and like wanders over to the back and comes back with a small pouch. He's like, for your services today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Do try to keep your men away against any dogs.
Oh, yes, of course.
Brown or pale.
Yep. You know, these young lads and their things. It's who knows what he's a child. Anyway, you put that down. As he like wanders over and starts to just yell at a bunch of his workers.
I will take that as my leave to go, and I think I deserve a treat. I'm gonna go get more caffeine. Yay!
Cool. Heading off, and you go to find heading towards the Drakkar to get a coffee.
Yeah.
Cool. Ada.
Yes.
Being possibly in this case the last one of the day to wake up, for you, what do you do?
Ada does wake up last, but that's because she hasn't been sleeping, and when she does sleep, it's very fitful at the moment. After what happened, the rumors of the fact that she went to every single card reader in the city and had them do cards for her, and they all came up with the same cards over and over and over again. And her intense now paranoia.
Mm-hmm.
She has spent the last week with Radisok watching and checking every single one of her kids and every single one of the women who work for her. Watching them like shut down, just totally paranoid about this kid who nobody knows existed, who was part of their entire community. And is
can you
being
roll
forgotten.
Yep. Can you roll me an intelligence test, please?
Sure.
Who's Weaver? I don't even remember.
That little bastard owes me money.
He owes me money.
He smashed my window.
Stole my pouch. He's the reason I have a secondary pouch, which is my main pouch now, and my open one is just filled with barbed wire.
That's 13.
13. You, in this time, as you've been watching everyone else and like sitting with Radisok, and you've been like, you know, so almost reconciling, like trying to, what would you call it, like trying to rationalize this, trying to find something that like, no, this is wrong, or trying to figure out how this happened or what was going on, or trying to just prove to yourself that you're not insane. You are sitting with Radisok, watching a few of your girls at the tavern as they are going about their usual business, with a group of young tourist men, doing the, you know, like very much that sort of like getting them to play games, getting them to drink too much, all that sort of stuff. As you're sitting there, you're definitely like watching, and but your vision seems like almost like glazed as you're actually just in your own mind trying to piece this all together. As you're doing so, trying to place, oh, but he was here, but he was there, but I've known him. He's always been part of this crew. He's always been here. He's a solid part of the household. And Radisok starts to like just sort of you said he was there when that Ulf boy showed up, right?
Yeah.
And that was the first time. That was the first time we could have seen him, right? I mean, that was like the first time he showed up.
No. He's been Ada like seems to like pull on her bun again, and it's like even the way she dresses at the moment is just a little bit too sharp. Like that little like relaxed vibe that kind of floats with her is just really like the hair's done too tight.
Yeah.
The makeup's just a little bit too severe. Like her all her tattoos are really on display, and she's been going down to the water regularly.
Yeah.
Doing rituals to try and ground herself in the dark where no one can see. She is teetering on what the fuck is reality. But yeah,
in this moment, as this is raised, and you're trying to search, and again in this moment, you realize you have this paradox. In this moment that you're sitting there and you see Weaver's face and you feel like you have known it and known him since he was a young child. You cannot place a single visual memory of this boy before he showed up at Sigablot. There isn't like you try and recall and you go like, no, there was no. Oh, but wait, no. Like there's we
had this joke and like all the threads keep falling apart every time he tries to grab one.
Yeah. Every time you bring something up, it's you either realize that you have accounted this to one of your other kids, or it just didn't exist and there's nothing there. The only tangible memories you have of Weaver are the ones that have happened since Sigablot.
I guess so. I guess so. But none of you guys remember him.
No. I remember you yelling at me though. I mean, when you said someone had stuffed up and we needed to go and fix it, or at least lay low for a while. But, yeah, we all thought it was because of that Ulf fella. But, yeah.
I will figure this out. Everybody's safe, right? Everyone's good.
Yeah. I mean, we're all good.
Everyone's made money out of Sigblood. Good times.
Yes. There it is. Can I go just check something out?
Go.
I need to there's something you good?
I'm good, Radisok.
Good.
I'm always good. You know me.
Yeah, it's just something I got to look at. And he like drops down off whatever you're sitting on and scurries off down the road.
Ada pulls out this deck of cards and she shuffles them and pulls out 5 again and flips them over. And they're the same 5 cards. Again.
You notice that every time, and it's something that is never, how to put it, it's something you've noticed, it's never tangible, and like it's never predictable. And there's, as far as you can see in this moment, like you thought at this stage you almost had a rhythm to it. Like there was like, at least you were looking for a pattern in the cards and you thought you had it, and this one breaks it. It is this sort of like, and like not breaks it in a way that's like telling you anything, but more in a way that it's like, no, it's just random. Like you see that the way that the cards are situated, like which side is up, is always different, and it's never, the order for all of them is never the same.
And she just kind of lets out this like laugh sigh when she recognizes that, and just is like, and then just like stacks the cards back up and just leaves them on the table.
Cool. Looking around the room, can you give me a perception test, please?
Sure. Is this seeing or hearing?
It can be both. If you, well, it can be either if you'd like.
Either.
Are you trying to see or are you trying to hear?
Ada's trying to hear because she doesn't trust her sight necessarily very much at the moment. Focus is a +2 at the moment.
Yep.
$18.
18. You, after a moment and thinking about this and watching your vision, whether it be from lack of sleep or paranoia or just being in your own brain, you've sat and you realize you have had to refocus your vision, actively refocus your vision 3 or 4 times in the last like 10 minutes. You close your eyes and you let the sound of the Drucker and the area around you just sort of wash over you.
Like the ocean.
Yeah. You start to hear, like, sifting through various voices, you know, tuning out the sound of the voices of your girls, as you know what they're talking about, quickly realizing that the men that they are talking to are A, idiots, and B, completely enraptured, and tuning out what they say. You work through a few different conversations, mostly that seem to be about business in the area, different people talking about travel plans heading north or south, at which point you hear the sound of a door open to the back of the room. You hear like a trolley or like wheels bustling, and you hear Joanna, who is the main, you know, to be the owner of the Drucker, and you hear her voice. She turns around and just says, "Kurt, you're a little late. Are you all right?" And a voice returns with basically like, "Oh, sorry, I got here as quick as I could. The alleys are a little tricky to navigate. We have the delivery for you, no problem." As you like reopening your eyes, you see this sort of rather like stocky, sort of barrel-chested dwarf bald on top, this long beard, as he starts to unload crates behind the bar, as he seems to have entered through the back, the rear entrance of the building. Listening again, you hear another few voices, and that seem somewhat out of place in the hubbub, as they seem hushed, but also hushed in that way that is like there is a slight hiss in their voice, as if they are having what should probably be a private conversation in a very public setting. As you hear one of them just says, we don't have the money. As the other one turns and says, yes, but we can't stay here. All this has happened. Like, we can't, there's something is going on. The other one says, just give me some time. We can figure this out. As you open your eyes, you see a couple over in the corner that seem to be sitting and having a meal. One does not appear to be eating that much. The other one's like seems to be like slowly eating and like looking around. Not like in a suspicious way, just in a very cautious, like wary way.
Ada is going to, ever the opportunist, open her eyes and wander over to the couple, and using double talk and the ability of hidden message, she is going to just be like, hi, how you doing? Haven't seen you guys around before. Da, 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 da. But through the general banter, be passing on the message of, I heard you need some assistance. I provide services. What do you need? Or I can tell the owners that you can't pay.
Can you roll me a communication test, please?
Sure. Hmm. 18.
18. You see these two seem confused for a moment, and then like glance at each other and back at you a few times, as one of them leans and says, look, we don't know what we don't want any trouble. We're not here for any, we're just having our food, and then we're going to go home. Thank you, but we are okay. We are fine.
Ada pauses and pulls out a chair and sits down.
Oh, yeah, okay, darling, what are we, it's, what, the one turns and says, what do you want?
I want to know what's going on.
I mean, nothing. We were just having breakfast. No, nothing really happening here. You see they're starting to like glance over towards the bar, like.
You're not very good about keeping your voices very quiet.
Okay. I mean, that's an interesting observation, but I don't see what that has to do with anything, really.
can't stay and you can't pay. Fascinating.
Yeah. Yes. But that's okay. We can figure something out, I'm sure, and we thank you for your offer. But we're not really interested in any outward assistance at the moment.
No problem. Well, enjoy your stay. I hope it all works out for you.
I'm sure it will. Thank you.
Ada removes her chair. And signals to one of her boys, River, to follow the couple when they leave.
You see up at the corner, he just sort of nods and just like makes his way around the outer wall to get a closer seat that's not obviously close, and is with a different group that he's just sort of sidled up to. But yeah, seems to. And
then Ada sits and purposely turns her back to them.
Cool. They seem to go very quiet for the rest of the time. Back outside. And about this point, Torfin, can you give me a perception test, please?
Sure can. No. That's a 9.
9. Cool. You glancing around for a bit, you see like a few figures moving, like everyone around you seems to be moving, moving. There's one figure you've picked up on since last time, as he seems to be one of the main figures who doesn't really move. Or at least he seems to keep popping up. Across the way, you see a fairly stout and sturdy dwarf. So there's long, pale blonde hair pulled back into a thick braid down his back. It's large beard trimmed into a sharp diamond shape. Seems to every so often to sort of stroll past or seems to be standing across the way. He never seems to be looking at you, but something about it that you gather that there's some sort of connection there. Trying to sort of push it from your mind, you start to look around. Off to your side, you see this ratty little boy who seems to be playing or just sort of like mucking around by the edge of the pier. You turn back and look, and the dwarf is gone. And just then there is a commotion to your right as you hear this young boy is just like, you turn and look and you see that young boy, his hand being like held, like pinched at the palm by this dwarven figure who's just sort of looking down at him with the all the sternness of a very disappointed father. As this, sort of boy looks up at him and he looks up at him and he's like, I just wanted to have a look. I didn't, I wasn't going to touch him. And the dwarf looking down essentially says, yes, and that is why I grabbed your hand inches from the handle, Radasok. As he chucks him out, essentially throws him not hard, but enough to stumble out on the road. He says, go home, Radasok. as the boy like straightens, these sort of like ruddy clothes, and then seems to give him sort of a and then turns around and just like skitters off down the street. The dwarf turns back to you and like dusts his hands off and then holds one out to you as he says, "Apologies for him. My name is Da. Well, everyone calls me Da."
Torfin. Lovely to meet, and I assume he had an interest in something he shouldn't, maybe something sharp and or loud.
It was the loud one he was going for, I believe.
It is the one that the young ones take to. They've seen plenty of pointy bits, but they haven't seen many of these. I will keep it more secure, knowing that there are sticky fingers around. Thank you.
More than you would know.
Yes, I have gathered that in my short time here. The environment, just the people around, seem a little on edge. This is my first time here, but it's for a big city. It seems like there's just a lot of security concerns.
Vathengarder is a city of opportunity, but that's going to say that it's the opportunity for everybody. I would be wary. Not all smiling faces are paper masks, but enough of them are.
Noted. Thank you. And what has brought you to my presence today? Is there something more than thieving children? I've seen you wandering around here. Are you just a child wrangler to make sure they're not getting up to too much mischief, or is there something?
Just like glances over his shoulder towards the thing and says, "Actually, the children are not my responsibility. I just, saw my chance to do my civilian duties for the day." You hold yourself with the kind of a man who is good at getting things done.
I've been known to do a few things, yes. Yes. Are you a man paying for such services?
There's one thing I love more than a man that gets things done. There's a man who knows how to get to the point. Follow me.
Pick up my pack. Make sure my pistols are secure. Follow him along.
Following this man as he wanders, sort of strolling along the way, you recognize, he doesn't really have a pack or a bag. He has, what appears to be he has a long vest with this sort of harness that lies over a tunic and trousers, sleeves rolled up to the elbow with these, long-hailed and, almost, slightly faded tattoos across his arms. As he wanders, you get the sense, from the way he walks and the way he holds himself in this area, and you notice, from a few, glances between people, you gather this man has, while he may not be, shall we say, somewhat important, he has a lot of influence, in this area. As he wanders into the main tavern that lies in the harbor. This appears to be a large wooden warehouse. The only thing that seems to put it apart from this sort of menial, laborious activity is the fact that the roof is quite literally a drakkar. It is a long boat that has been turned on its head and now rests over the top of this building. Above the door, you see the like carved name, the Drunken Drakkar. Entering in, it's a fairly bustling tavern. You see off to one side, there's a few what you could fairly easily see as call girls, essentially, like sort of courtesans, like making sort of a what you would see as very easily having a group of young men wrapped around whatever finger they want. They off to the other side, there's a long bar, and you see sort of another dwarven figure standing behind the tavern, femme-presenting dwarf, who seems to be like very haphazardly, sort of like, though seemingly in a fair amount of control, like ordering people around and placing orders and taking orders. Dar like gives sort of a nod to this woman, and then makes his way to the back, to a booth, where he sits the two of you down. As just behind the two of you, Eric and Hugo both arrive at the Drakkar.
Yeah, and I finally got those bloody arms working, and he's talking random shit as he walks by.
You can just see a very tall, like lanky, fairly young man with a leather satchel, just wanting. If he's trying to attempt to roll his eyes so far it reaches to his brain, as he is so done with the tiny man next to him.
As
that is speciest.
Tiny.
Sorry, as Dar enters the tavern, he gives a nod to the tavern. He then points to the booth towards the back of the tavern, turning to you, Torfin, and he says, like, sit there, I'll be a moment.
Right. I'll sit on this whichever side lets me see the most of the room when I sit down as possible.
Yep. You sitting down, you watch as Dar like strolls over to an elf at the far of the room, seemingly like has considering that this is his first time here. Ada, would you like to describe yourself for Torfin?
Absolutely. Ada is a Elzir, a tall, dark-skinned elf, very tanned because dark-skinned, because sea elf. And she wears almost a mix, like sexy adventurer outwear. It is functional, but it's also very sexy. You can kind of tell it's on purpose. So at the moment, it's very tight as in precise. It would normally be much more flowing and a lot more pizzazz, but it's very like almost stern in a very strange way to others who have seen her, who know her. She has netting tattoos that go up both her arms, with her, because she has her sleeves pushed back at the moment, and you can see, depending on your knowledge of the god lore, you can see a horse, the head of a horse, tattooed on her neck, and she watches.
I would say
rooms.
at this stage with your... Can you... Just for this and for multiple other... Can you roll me a perception test, please, Dylan?
For this role also, I just want to let you know, Dylan got some inspiration.
Oh, yes. Excellent. So we have in the chat, we have one of the redeems, which is inspiration. It is one per session. So you have an inspiration, so you can re-roll a roll once per session.
Ooh, I think we'll take this one though. This one's not too bad. We'll go. It's 14.
14. Cool. You see, like, this character, you gather, obviously not having any, like, anything to compare this look to, you would say that this character, as they are sitting and staring around the room, from various motions that they are having, like different sort of look arounds, and you hear, like, someone... Like a laugh will happen off to the side that sort of rises above the rest of the crowd, and they sort of just very quickly, turn their head to look and then bring their vision back and seem to be like tapping. There's a manic to almost sort of like a stress there that you're not sure if that's normal, but it's definitely, if it's not normal, it's worrying. Ada, as you are sitting for a moment, a voice pulls you from your lull as you hear Dar approaches, and he just says, Ada.
Yeah.
Are you okay? You seem distracted.
Just not been getting a lot of sleep. Few more of your wife's amazing coffees and
He reaches out and holds out a tell me, what is Radisok's like main keepsake? If he had one thing that he has that is like his main thing that he keeps on him, like a trinket or something like that.
He would have a bracelet that is made of some stones that are actually from the border mountains where Ada had on her, that had made for him as a reward for being, her apprentice in the sneaky stuff.
He after a moment, extends his hand, and from just flicking, jingling past his fingers, you see that bracelet. As he looks, he says, "Your boy almost got his head blown off."
The boy should have known better. Ada takes it, but then replaces it with a certain amount of money that she would pay to Dar regularly for allowing her girl, the cut, for allowing her girls to work in his... He'll get a short slap over the back of the head.
He is still young, but he has promise.
We just got to keep him away from the shiny things every now and then.
Yes. Particularly the shiny things that tend to have a sharp or violent end.
I just try to keep them away, the ones who tempt them way too much with that.
Perhaps you can help me with something very quick. The man in my booth. What do you make of him?
Ada looks up and looks over.
Actually, at this point, Torfin, would you like to describe Torfin for... Dylan, would you like to describe Torfin for the rest of the group?
Yeah. You'll see a fairly pale-skinned tall and broad gentleman with a large hand-and-a-half sword on his back and some pistols that he has taken and put on the table in front of him because they're uncomfortable to sit with. Very stern face, not a lot of features to give away anything going on behind the eyes. You can see someone who is perceptive and cautious, but with the scars that you can see from the edge of the armor that's not rolled up, he's always looks ready for something to go down. That there's a lot of history with the blades, the gun. His hands are quite rough and leathery, and you can see almost like a permanent powder burn between his thumb and forefinger. Quite an older man, probably mid to late 40s. Very salt and peppery, very neat, not quite military, very neat hair tied up and tucked in, with a tied together beard as well.
I just like, human, middle-aged, looks experienced for the years that they get. They do fly by so quickly, don't they? Looks good with the guns from the remarks, but they're still alive at this age, which is always for that. They're so soft for that form of occupation. Shows some level of judgment or good luck, one of the two. But humans to have lasted that long in that occupation are usually have to have some kind of level of competency.
That's what I thought too. Thank you for your insight. Turning around at this point, as Da turns around and starts to head back towards the others, crossing paths with Eric and Hugo as you two enter. As you enter, being I imagine, the new commotion that enters the tavern, can you both also describe your characters for Dylan and for the stream, please?
All right, I guess I'll go first. Eric is a tall, lanky, young man. He is a young man, but his face would not tell you that. He is the epitome of, how old are you? You're 24? You look older, and that is not a compliment. He looks like he hasn't slept in days. His hair is messily tied up, much more for practical rather than aesthetic. His clothes are wrinkled and stained in old blood in some places. He has black hair, but you can see tiny little spurs of red in his roots if you look hard enough or if you're close enough to him, and beautiful bright green eyes. He's the type of man, he is all about practicality and nothing for aesthetic.
Hugo is a average-sized dwarf, stocky body with a very industrial core aesthetic going on. You see he's got brass coils where stitches may have been, where he's just left the coil inside the arm, and it's just there. His left hand is completely black, almost up to the elbow. And at the moment, he'd be wearing a sleeveless jacket, which is, his color tone is very autumn entering winter-esque. He's got those warm oranges, but then he's got cold bits of steel and brass mixed in, as the tips of his jackets all have metal rings to prevent them from going soft around his arms. And at the moment, he has his hair all very tightly tied back in multiple braids, going back to the back of his head, and it looks like bits of grease are smudged all around as he looks like he's just come from a workstation. But he's had too many coffees today, wants to talk about this new cool thing.
A lot of energy.
Little lightning bolt.
Mm-hmm.
As he is talking to this lanky twink that he's walking next to about, it's a little janky, but I finally managed to get the pistons, the master cylinder and the slave cylinder. I managed to get them without the leak. It's a little hard to start, but once it gets going, it works. It works.
I'm very proud of your effort and your production. When was the last time you slept?
I didn't sleep for the first 3 days. And then I passed out for like a day or two. But then, once I woke up, I managed to finish it. It was around the midway there, I think I crashed, but I'm back.
Happy you gotten some sleep. You're not going to raid my station, are you?
No. I need you to brew the goods so that I can bottle it. In bulk. I need at least 32 liters.
32 Oh, okay.
And I'm able to do a whole batch. I've currently got the boys from the warehouse. Remember that warehouse that we raided, where they had the smuggling operation? Yeah, I went through the boys and I managed to get a steady supply of these glass jars for a very good price. And so now I've got like 100 of them sitting there waiting for this fluid. So once you've got the ointment, it's ready. I've even got labels of that.
Have you got them sorted out, the ingredients yet? Like, we've promoted the Earl of Gout stuff.
I don't know, really wish
Like,
you hadn't.
there are suppliers waiting for.
I like to think that Hugo
products.
didn't tell the fact that he was building this. Like, he alluded to it, but he hasn't told or really spoken to anyone in a few days. And suddenly he's like, I need 32 liters of your gout ointment. ASAP.
That will take a few days to grab everything. Sorry, how much did you need again?
32 liters.
Sure, I have nothing else going on, nothing except healing the sick and injured, but they can wait, I
Is 600 mils
suppose.
too much?
It's an ungodly amount, yes.
600 milliliters.
600 mil. No, that would.
Is that good for ointment? Because that's the size of the bottles that I got.
I mean, it's fairly good. Why am I talking about this with you?
But you just got to make sure it's not too much. It's got to be not too little, but not too much.
That's
Because if it's too much, they'll just buy it once, and then we need to have a balance.
No, trust me, gout is a.
Like
Is
the
a-
girls have like a lot of the nobles are waiting because of their gout problems.
See, I thought that
so-
it might be the richer people that are buying them, so I bought the fancy bottles that look like this.
Nice.
Yeah.
That will make the poultice extremely hard to get out of the jar.
You just need to like pour it, isn't it? Is it like an oint? You said it was an ointment, so like an oil, right?
I suppose I can make it a bit more runny than
Yeah, there we go.
to make it come out a bit easier, but that will waste. That will.
Look, I really look forward to you not being poor anymore. It's going to be great.
I'm not
Don't
poor.
worry, the opening's the size of my index finger, which is the size of Mac's thumb.
I'm not poor. I just don't go shopping every single day like you do. You do. How do you manage to get a different outfit literally every day? I've never seen you wear an outfit twice.
Pride, self-care.
Self-love.
I do mostly all of those things.
You're wearing the same outfit from a week ago.
I've
Look.
been busy.
I've seen your wardrobe. You have 4 outfits that are identical.
It's practical.
The boss lady wants you to look. Your boss lady wants you to look acceptable. You need to be somewhat cool looking, like presentable.
My boss lady doesn't mind how I how I look, as long as people stay alive.
How
I
about this?
could be covered in blood and I'd still look fine.
How about this? I'll get like a pump lid for all the jars.
What's a pump lid?
So it's like when you have the little thing and you push it down in the water, the hydraulics pull and create a suction, and the water comes out of an underwater well.
I'm too undercaffeinated
This
for
doesn't help me not think you're poor if you don't know what a pump lid is for a ointment.
Do you use those long spoons with like the little tiny things?
No, I make my own shampoo and conditioner. I can make things. I just do that. I don't buy stuff if I can make it. It's cheaper.
And
Over
again, you're
at
convincing me that
the-
you're not poor.
I'm not poor.
You'd make a really good homesteader.
Over at the
Call me a
booth.
housewife.
Tradwife.
Over at the booth, Dar approaches with returns the booth with a bottle and 2 glasses. He slides one across to you and sits down across from you. Sort of glancing over his shoulder, you see he's watch as he sort of glances over towards the elf that you saw him speaking to a moment ago. His brow sort of furrowed in this, like, just a very pensive stare for a moment before he turns back and like offers to pour for like a drink for you.
It is a little early, but I feel like it's going to be one of those days.
It always is.
Sure.
Yeah.
How many children did you say you look after? I think I've spotted 2 more head in the door.
Me? None.
Yeah. What are those 2 doing then? They look... Something's wrong with them.
Yeah. He looks over his shoulder and, like, upon, like, the moment he looks over his shoulder, he chuckles. As he looks over and he's like, "Oh, yes, that's Gunny and Goodney. They're another 2 of, well, hers." And he points off towards the elf that he was talking to before. But, we look out for each other here in Vartengard in our own way. Now, you mentioned before you may be looking for work.
I'm looking for pay. Work usually comes first.
And judging by, well, everything, I'd assume you're not unacquainted with the slightly stranger or less normal aspects of this realm.
It's something I don't think I can avoid. It finds its way to my doorstep every chance I get. So, yes, if you've got something unnatural that might need some coaxing back to the dark, I'm your man.
Good. He reaches into his vest and pulls out a slip of paper. He says, "Something or someone is causing a ruckus in the slums. We lack the available manpower to investigate it at the moment. He glances again and he gives a sort of smile. He says, "We can provide required resources, but if you are looking for more people to help in such an endeavor, he points over towards the two that have just entered and the elf who are now sitting around with the elf woman seemingly yelling about ointment. And says, like, those three over there have proven themselves capable. Unorthodox, but capable.
I don't think I've found a group of anybody that I would call orthodox on my time on the roads. Are you sure there's no others? These three just yelling about ointment. I don't know if they're going to be the right type to assist in that way. They don't look the type, if you know what I mean. But on your word, if you say they're good, they might do.
You need a wound stitched or a rash healed. You go to Eric. You want something built. You go to Hugo. You want someone found or a man wooed out of the very clothes he's wearing in the middle of the town square, you go to Ada. You want thinking, you come to me, okay?
I am your sword. Send me where you will, and I will work with the tools I am given.
Good. I mean, you don't have to use them, but, well, if you need
Having someone to stitch us up is good.
always.
In my line of work.
Indeed. If you need me, just tell the bar you're looking for Dar.
Will do. Will do. Should I go and introduce myself, or?
I mean, he lifts up his drink and, like, just knocks back the last of it as he says, it's really up to you, isn't it?
Might I have another one before I brave this new...
He smiles and, like, taps the
task.
table and he's like, I got business to tend to, so enjoy the bottle if you want it.
I will grab the whole bottle, grab the second glass as well.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you muchly. I will... You'll be hearing from me soon. Thanks for the swill. And I get up, walk on over, and sit down without saying a word. Put down the bottle, both glasses in front of me, and top them both up.
Well, you're not usually my type, mate, but like, yeah, if you buy me a few drinks, I'll think about it.
I'll empty one and slide it to you. I hear you make things. You can make it full. Morning, all.
Hey, Dar's new plaything. How
Banana.
you doing?
Good morning.
It's the morning. I just walked into town and someone's offering me some work and telling me that you three are the best out there to give us a hand. There's some work to be done. I assume you all know what's happening.
Oh, absolutely. Do you know what's happening?
I just throw the
You
paper
seem
into the middle of the table. There's the details. I just table in the middle, sip on the glass. Look, it looks like some nasty work, but look, nothing I'm sure I can't handle with some assistance.
Eric
I
is
give it a
just-
quick perusal.
Yeah, Eric's gonna have a quick look as well.
I didn't even know what it says. I assume it's the work, but
Yeah, it's
What am I
essentially
looking at?
It's essentially a report. It is handwritten. It appears to be a report that something seems to be unrest in the slums, with people leaving. As it states, there are people who are leaving their huts to move further into the city, but no one will talk. It doesn't seem to have any more information other than that.
I mean, it's more information than what I got. I didn't know that people were moving from the slums into the city proper. Eric, you heard anything?
Not particularly, but if people are trying to better themselves.
Eric, you suddenly, like, thinking back on that moment that you were heading to that job earlier today, the reason that you felt, like, claustrophobic and crowded in the street was because the alleys were full. You quite literally, like, looking down each of the alleys seemed crowded. There were a lot, like, in between, you know, various sort of crates and piles of refuse and stuff. You saw just people, a lot of people just bundled up, like, you know, sort of rugged up, sitting against the walls, either sleeping or just waiting. Like, the entire point was you felt cramped and trapped because if something happened, you had nowhere to duck to.
I see. It's like, yeah, there has been more people out actually on the street. I thought I felt claustrophobic, but...
You are
Kern
quite
said
antisocial.
that No, Kern said it's more difficult to navigate the back streets recently because of I'm assuming, putting your piece together, it's because of the influx of people. I would generally argue then, not that I like to talk about our people this way, but rats leave a sinking ship. And she then nods to the couple over there. She goes, and those guys don't want to go home for some reason and they can't afford to stay here. But they wouldn't take my offer of help either. So they'd rather face the consequence of not paying Da and not being able to afford to stay than take help. So something is making these people not want to talk.
At about this point as well, you see that couple, like, get up and sort of, like, they tidy their plates to the middle of the table and start to head out onto the road, and you watch as the boy that you've locked onto them essentially follows after, like, turns around and gives you sort of a thumbs up, as he follows at a respectable pace and distance, to keep an eye on them.
One of my boys is going to track them, and hopefully he'll be able to get back some information about what's going on.
Lovely. What is your name?
Oh, right. Don't usually do names first. Torfin.
Torfin?
Torfin.
Right.
Torfin.
And what do you do?
I point to the sword. This, usually.
Wonderful. We just had one just like you, and we need a new one. Perfect.
What happened to the last one?
He went to hunt some massive titanic beast to bring himself pride and triumph.
Well,
But you look like you shower more.
Yeah.
He was
get caught in the rain more than most. I think that's really it.
Do you have a place to stay?
Yeah.
Do you work
Live on
for
the
anyone
road.
in town yet?
Just got here. Well, I mean, Dar's paying, but I don't know if he's going to keep paying.
Oh, if you keep doing work for him, he'll keep paying. You just got to keep yourself busy. All right, so something's spooking a bunch of people out of the tent city. What could that be?
Could be unrelated, but could
It
also...
probably isn't.
I got a call this morning down in the slums. A man was attacked by a dog, but they couldn't really seem to agree on what type of dog was it. One said it was brown and fluffy, the other one said it was pale and gangly.
Pale and
Down.
Took a
like a dog.
dog, but it was a big one. Took a chunk out of his arm.
Did it look like a dog bite?
Dragon, did it look like a dog bite to me? Something animalistic.
Can you roll me a... You have... Is it medical law, or is it...
I actually don't have medical law. I only have the talent surgery, but I'm a master, if that helps anything.
Chirurgy's more the ability to heal. I'll say just roll me an intelligence test, please.
You get it.
NCIS, Eric. NCIS, Victorian child.
Victorian child. Wow. Okay, I see your fucking...
Instead of the cacao and putting the sunglasses on, there's this strange plague cough that happens.
I gotta quit smoking. 14.
14.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking about it in that moment as you like looking at it going, look, in your mind, it was definitely sharp teeth. Like it was definitely like, as far as you can tell, it was definitely a mouth of teeth that would potentially fit a canine. It was a lot of sharp pointy teeth. It was a very broad and yet shallow bite for a canine. If it was a canine, it either tore a chunk larger than its mouth out, or it was, a very broad-headed dog with not a very long snout.
It's like it could fit a canine, but it wouldn't be a canine I've seen.
Where were they when they got attacked?
Down at the warehouse near the slums.
Were they in the warehouse, or were they in an alley, or were they in a...
It was in an alley. He got attacked. But I treated him at the warehouse. His foreman was very much lingering.
So in a dark alley?
He said he was confused and not sure what he actually saw.
Yeah, never trust what a foreman says. They're there to cover their own bloody asses. He was definitely not going to go against what his foreman said. So we'd best find that fella and get him away from the work site so we can get the truth.
As far as I'm aware, he's back at home. I didn't get his address, but I did slip him a note to come visit me at the surgery, and then we can potentially discuss what really happened. But I have some goodwill down in the slums. Perhaps I can get someone to talk.
Why do you have goodwill down in the slums, mate?
I do work there.
What?
Do you know how many sick children are down there? Like mothers that need to do home births, sick grandmothers and grandfathers.
I never took you on for being a philanthropist.
I'm a healer. I do work where I'm needed.
I have a good rep in the slums. The kids send the money back to their families.
Then I suppose we'll be a double threat.
Well, now I just feel terrible. I just avoid the slums. It fucking stinks.
Yes, due to the poor hygiene, which does not help in the sickness department, which I try to help.
Hey, props to you. How about we go there and we use the double threat in a kindly manner to get some info?
There are some people I can do a house visit on, I'm sure. Just pop in as a kind check-in.
I'll get some of the kids to check in with their families anyway. Where in the Ada pulls out gets a piece of paper and some charcoal and draws a basic outline of the slum area and where it's connected, and asks Eric to point out where they said the attack, a general area of where the attack
I'd probably
happened.
indicate along around the warehouses. So I think it's like slum adjacent.
Yeah. It's basically
in the
like,
slums.
so you would have, what you essentially have is like a whole point of like, there's the residential area. You then have an area that's sort of warehouses and various like workshops and other bits and pieces that it's more like stuff that you don't want, that's either very noisy, very smelly, or just generally unpleasant to be around. That is they're like, okay, we want that close, but we're not too close, so they put it out, which is like right next to it. Basically the moment you get past those buildings, more or less most people would go, the moment you're past that buildings, you're in the slums. You stop seeing stone buildings, you're in the slums.
Does
sort of thing.
Hugo work in that industrial area near the slums?
Does Hugo work in those industrial areas near the slums?
I'd
Is
say
Or is he a
there-
fancy dwarf?
I'm a fancy-ish dwarf. Is there another industrial area, or is it just
You-
mainly like that outside?
Oh, no. So there would be areas closer that would be like, so any sort of like, let's put it this way, anyone who would be considered an artisan smith would be closer in. It'd be more of a workshop. I can imagine that at the very least, Hugo, knowing various background things with Hugo's family and his ideals and all that stuff, he would have like worked his ass off to get one of these workshops. So you are not in that. You probably worked there for a while, but worked very hard to get where you are now.
Hey, I'm not a nepo baby. I gotta work for my money.
Definitely not a nepo baby. Yeah.
Well, Torfin, I think you would be very good muscle in this case if anything does go wrong or if we're attacked by a very large dog. But I think some reconnaissance is needed.
Now, before we go out the door, I have a policy to find out if blades are drawn and guns are pulled, who's jumping in. Because I need to know whose back I have to watch and who's watching mine.
Well, I'm
We kill
fairly
shit here.
handy. With a gun myself, and I know where to shoot so they can die quickly. But I like to avoid that.
I'll be up next year with the scrap, mate.
I'll be back there, but I
Looking
shoot
pretty.
things with my arrow in the face.
Shoot
And
particularly.
sometimes I stab them at very close range with my very sharp knife.
I think we can work with that. Just be careful. I like the back of my head. It looks good sometimes.
By the way, you're carrying all that steel with you. What's that?
Oh, just picked this up last town over as a thank you. Haven't had a chance to try it on. The plates are not something I'm really used to yet, and just gonna try it out. I think I'm actually gonna go get some new straps fitted. Actually, you're a handy person. You reckon you can help fit me?
Clicks on
this one?
fast, doesn't he?
Yeah.
You were just waiting to ask.
I
it's not
really
ac-
was. It's a pile of armor right there. Of course I'm gonna ask.
Well, look, at least you can help me with the armor, but you can't create grog. You can't be a miracle worker, I understand.
I don't know. I've
I
made a new
can't create
bathtub.
grog, but
I've made a bathtub, wine and grog, in my day. It's cheaper.
Look, House Swill's as good as the rest.
See, I like this man. He doesn't call me poor.
I totally disagree. Some of it's disgusting. What's wrong with you people? Do you
Speaking of
have
that-
no taste buds? Jesus.
Do you have 90 minutes to
Odin.
explain everything that's wrong with me?
Speaking of which, let's walk and talk, and mate, you can explain your financial situation. We'll see if we can get you situated. We'll fix that armor up. But do you want me to attach that now in a shoddy way, or actually adjust it to you properly later on?
Just whatever's going to fit now. If it gets the worst, I can deal without.
Yeah, all right. I kick my boots, and you see me pull off some little bits and bobs. It makes a small step ladder. It's like, oh yeah, let's go outside.
Right. I mannequin myself for Hugo.
I'm gonna put my little step ladder together from little bits and bobs from my boots. Start.
Do you need me to
adjusting.
kneel down?
If you could squat a little bit, but
Yeah.
Ada stays inside drinking coffee while the idiots are outside until they're
I'm
finished.
gonna pull out like one of my little kits and start punching extra holes in the leather. It's like, this is not built for your size, mate.
I think I'm gonna sit with Ada and just kind of look at her and just be like, do you think that eye's a bit too smoky for every day?
The ladies say no.
Like, I'm saying, like, to Ada, like...
Oh dear.
What is that from again? I'm blanking completely.
Kim Kardashian.
Right.
I
yeah.
have no idea what the fuck is going on.
It's a TikTok sound. It's like, do you think that eye's a little too smoky for every day?
Ada, not knowing the deep and dark history related to this, turns around to Eric and says, "That's not what your mum says."
My mother never wore that kind of makeup. Just letting you know right now.
Would I be
You
rolling?
understand that was a reference to saying that your mum dug it because your mum dug me, not that your mum wore a smoky eye. Oh my god. How am I ever going to get you laid? I swear to God.
Why are you trying to get me laid? Why is this a...
Because it might bring this level of anxiety down very high all the time. I'm worried you're going to just have an aneurysm and drop dead.
I will not have an aneurysm. I'm, in fact, fairly...
How much coffee do you drink every day?
Okay, shut up.
Almighty
Yeah.
GM, what am I rolling? Smithing, crafting, or engineering for adjusting this suit of armor?
It'd just be crafting at this stage, I'd say.
Okay.
It wouldn't be a high roll, so...
Oh yeah, that's all good. 15.
My mum never
15.
had an eye that smoky.
Very, very easily able to, like, fit it. So it's like, again, it's like you're saying, it's not a... Whatever it was clearly built for someone around Torfin's build. Just not quite made for Torfin. So it is just a case of like, okay, we've got to punch a few holes in that. We've got to tighten that bit up. We've got to... there's no actual, like, metal work or real modifications that need to be made.
It's just measurements for the leather bits.
Yeah, but fairly easily you're able to... make the proper adjustments, and it fits rather nicely. So the way I imagine this armor being, it's so this is, sort of light battle armor for the area, so it'd be sort of similar to that sort of like Mandalorian style, where a lot of it's either Kevlar or like bits of chain, and then you have like a few key placements or like overlapping plates to protect some key areas. But yeah.
Squishy.
Nice fit.
Squishy.
I didn't think that that old fella's armor would actually screw up so nice. You know what you're doing. At least around the leather. Haven't seen
Leather,
metalworking
steel, wood,
yet.
pretty much any kind of solid material.
So when I need to sharpen my friend here, I can come to you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, great. Well, we're
Actually,
here.
so long
Could
as
use
you
a
don't
bit of a
turn out to
touch-up
be a
if you-
serial killer, you could probably stay with me until we find you a place. So long as you don't mind hammocks.
Mate, hammocks are fine. Hammocks are fine. And
All good then.
look, I think serial killer is probably for you to decide, but look, I'm fairly above board. There's not much you won't see on the face of what I've got going on. It's stumble in, stumble out of town most places. But look, if the pay is good, might stick around.
I mean, you're in the center of the world here, mate. Let's go back in and get the girls. Let's go back in and get the others. I keep forgetting. Eric's a guy.
Yep.
Forget sometimes. Just in case you didn't know, Eric's a guy.
I think you're a dude. You know, if the name didn't tick you off.
Is it because
Yeah.
is it because
Yeah.
I don't have a beard or something like that? You're just
Probably,
confused?
actually, yeah. You don't have a beard, so he's like culturally confused.
He doesn't know what I
Dwarf
am.
women have beards, so
Yeah.
that's even more confusing.
He's just like,
Hugo
what
was
are you?
right.
It is also like, I do also like the context in this case that I think it's funny because in Hymgard, as I've discussed with with Mac previously about this sort of thing, and it has also made parts of Book 3 a pain in the ass to write. The dwarves do not, in their language, do not refer to another's gender unless they want to, as they put it, forge life. So essentially, the dwarven language is non-gendered. It is non-binary. It is quite literally they do not refer to each other by gender unless they're basically saying like, I want to make babies. So basically the idea that if you were learning,
Back up.
no. But here's the thing. Is the idea of saying like, in that mindset, if you were born and raised dwarven and therefore learned human, you're still getting used. You could possibly also still every so often slip up and be referring to them by gender and be like, wait, no, you're the other one. Like,
This is not the
Like
first
an
time he's called
American
me a girl.
raised
Called me
in
G.
Rome and then going back to America, like, what the fuck? Okay, so but for Hugo, he catches himself on that. He doesn't explain much of it because that in his mind, that being a dwarven thing, he's just like, I'll unpack that later. And let's go get Ada and Eric, and let's go for this walk.
I'll wait out front. You get it. I'm gonna do some making sure this fits right.
Star jumps.
Starts doing Tai Chi.
I go in to get them and let them know that we're ready to go.
Doing yoga by the time you get back out.
Weirdly good at it.
So
Yeah.
so what's going on? So the rest of you are heading on down towards the slums. Yep. And Torfin, what are you doing?
Follow along best I can with this rabble.
Cool. So
Ada does send a message with the girls that were there to ask the kids to check in on their families because something might be doing in the slums, and if their families need a place to stay, that they can come to that.
Cool. Yeah, the kids are sent off and easily run along. Moving down into the outer areas, into the warehouses, I'll say all of you notice, as it's been pointed out, the what do you call it? The alleyways suddenly, as you're looking into them, realize that, there's a fair few people who seem to be just out in the elements, rugged up or just spending their time out in the alleyways. Ada, being the main one who's probably on the lookout for such things, the main one who, sort of like keeps an eye on everything, as it were. You notice that the guard presence around here is also more than it should be. You've seen a few people, like, as you watch, you see a few of the guards as they standing in front of an alleyway. There's like 2 guards standing in front of an alleyway as a sort of a disheveled figure starts to sort of walk up. They like just hold up a hand, stop him, and shoo him away as he sort of wanders off back down another road, seemingly looking for another entrance to the alleys. It seems that they are like at least trying to sort of control a situation here, but it's difficult to say what in this moment.
Making our way downtown.
I feel like Eric is gonna just look at these people and just kind of have a look at pity and somewhat empathy, as well. Just probably as they're walking, just kind of shake his head, like, poor souls. It's hard to live out on the street. I don't miss it.
You're on the street, were you, mate?
For a time. When I first got to Vatengard, didn't have anything but the clothes on my back.
Ah, well, now you've got us. And on that, would I be able to roll an empathy check to get the general vibe of, has something happened recently here, or are they just anxious about things happening in general? Like,
Yeah.
is there a path to follow?
Roll me a check. Roll me a perception. If you have empathy, you can add empathy.
I do have empathy.
Hugo has empathy.
I know, right?
Like he said, he's getting smarter and he's learning. I'm afraid.
13.
13. Looking around, are you looking at, I say with a 13, are you looking at the guards or are you looking at the people?
I'd say Hugo's going for the guards because they're most likely the ones who are going to be watching out for things, and wherever they're looking or being anxious towards, Hugo wants to take that as a sign to go that direction.
Okay. The guards at this stage seem they seem tired. They seem frustrated. And like you see as they're sort of like looking up, they just seem to be sort of watching around, and every so often sort of like glance back down the alleyways with an essence of like, I would get like gathering being this like this look of like, it's a look of sort of like, fair go, come on, like what the fuck, why are you here, sort of thing, like why do I need to do this, sort of thing.
Okay.
It's a frustrated sort of like, it's frustration mostly. They don't seem to be looking in any particular direction as if something has happened. They just seem frustrated, and they're just holding the ends of the alleyway and seem to be stopping people from going in.
It's basically like a giant homeless issue. But the thing is, they have a place to go, so that's the problem.
Yeah, but if they're just frustrated and they're not worried, then we're not close enough to the source. So I guess we should just keep going. When things start to turn to fear, we're in the right spot. I'm looking for anxiety.
Dragyn, I'm going to say, I'm going to pick someone that I've probably been in contact with, like, fairly recently. I'm going to say someone that's going to be hard to move, maybe a new mother, and do just a little house call, just to check on Mum and Bub, just to see if everything's good.
So heading further into the slums, you notice that the sort of like stone and steel buildings quickly give way, and like paved roads quickly give way to like cracked stone shanty huts and dirt roads. more or less the outskirts right before you hit the walls of Vartengada. You notice that the first thing that you all notice is the guard presence out here disappears. You do not the moment that you're out past this area, the guard presence immediately plummets. But also so does kind of everything else. As you strolling through, it is quiet. It is kind of it's quite still. Doesn't seem to be a lot of commotion out here. Every so often you hear from maybe another way over, the sound of some sort of animal or a can sort of get kicked or something like that, but nothing over the top. As you come to the house of your old patient, yes, it is a young woman who not that long ago had a child, and you were the only one in the city willing to help deliver the baby with for very little pay. As you approach the building, it's this small shanty hut, sort of a number of wooden planks that have been sort of haphazardly bolted together. With you're aware that on the inside they have sort of blankets nailed up to the corners of the walls, essentially keeping as much warmth inside as they can.
I'm gonna just walk up and go to the door and just knock and call out, Doctor visit. Is it? And just kind of wait.
Mm-hmm. There's a long pause, and as being not a very big house, you hear you do manage to hear inside. There's a slight rustle, and then the door just cracks open. You see half of a very pale face peek out around from the side of the door.
What was her name, Dragon? Just give me a random name.
Hold on,
as if you're not asking for the bane of every game master's existence.
I have a thing for it, but the trouble is the way this sets up. Alva. Pro Game Master tip: make a list of male and female names that suit your setting and staple them to your or stick them to your Game Master sheet. And don't do that in Obsidian because it puts your notes somewhere. So you see a very pale face looking around, a wide, seemingly fairly manic eye, with sort of long bedraggled black hair hanging around, as she peers out at you in a state of what you gather be a very cautious, subdued panic. She sort of goes did you need something? We don't, everything's fine. We don't have any more money.
It's fine. No charge. I just wanted to see how you and baby are doing. Can I come in?
Oh, yeah, just a second. She closes the door. You hear a few sort of latches and chains rattle. She opens the door again. It's please, I guess make yourselves as comfortable as you can.
Yeah. It's of course, don't mind my compatriots. This is Torfin. This is Ava, and Hugo. Hugo, would you mind just potentially looking around, see if anything you can fix up, please?
I'm already doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Making a list and checking it twice.
She wanders over to the other side of the room. You see there is a sort of a haphazardly put together bed, which just next to it you see there is what appears to be what was once a trough or a wash basin that has been padded and has a blanket in it, in which you can see there is a young infant sleeping. It takes you a moment to realize that there is a hole in the end of, like, the feet end of the mattress, which you quickly realize was used as the padding for said crib. She looks around and there's like a few haphazard pieces of furniture across the floor. In the corner there's a very small like camp fire set up with a little kettle over the top of it. As she enters, she's like, she's been fine. As good as she can be, really.
That's good. Are you eating enough?
As much as I can.
No, that's good. If you don't mind, I'm just going to have a quick look at baby. Have you come up with a name yet? I remember you were a bit out of sorts, unsure what to call them.
We were going with Helga.
A fine name. And I'm just going to walk over and just kind of look over, just check little ears, check hands, feet, just making sure everything's good in order, just kind of see if she's nice and fat.
Seems not entirely what one would call a healthy weight, but is, by all things considered, is better than you'd expect.
Yes. She seems healthy enough. I could use to eat a bit more, but I know how it is. Definitely fresh air would be a very good idea. Have you been getting out much?
Yeah.
It's not a test, Alva. I'm not here to grade you. I'm just wanting to make sure you and your child are healthy.
Yeah, It's been a bit difficult. It's gotten more difficult in recent times. I just don't want to risk anything.
Like potentially muggers about something that want to harm you. I can have Hugo here try to fix up a few things, see if it's a bit more reinforced.
Oh, that would be good. We don't have any more money, but
you don't have to pay me.
He likes a challenge. Okay. This one, don't you worry about that. He'll do it for fun if you let him. The amount of times I have to shove him out of my own clinic is more than once.
Yeah.
Stop trying to change the locks. It's not funny after the third time.
Speaking of locks, what is your grandmother's name?
I'm not answering that.
Not Eric. Eric's asking the lady.
Oh.
Sorry, Hugo's asking the lady.
Oh, okay.
My grandmother's name?
Yes.
Gita? She's dead, though.
Good to know. Did you have a good relationship with Gita?
No. She's kind of the reason we're here.
Ah, is there a name that you do enjoy?
Hammond.
Hammond. Good to know. Hugo's just going to go outside for a bit.
I won't lie to you. I won't I'll give you a bit more credit than what I am trying to do. It's not a complete medical visit. I've noticed things have been quieter around here. And forgive me, Alva, you looked afraid when you answered the door. You didn't. You are in this place. You need to be cautious, sure, but not the type that you were.
Yeah. I don't know. There was I don't know what you'd call it. There's been events. I don't know what they are. I don't know. People say it's monsters. People say it's, kids or hooligans, but
What do you think is happening?
I don't know. It's something that it seems to come out at night and things go quiet. Things go missing. People don't show up. And everyone's too scared to do anything.
Well, I can tell you, if you know who I am, that it's not the kids. Because I keep pretty tight in the things that they do. But people keep saying they're running out of money. Are people leaving tributes anywhere?
I think a few people left. A few people have been leaving things at Knott's altar in the center of town, the Owl Grove.
Okay.
I don't know if it's any money, but
well, what I've heard is not particularly a monster, but maybe a wild dog of some kind. But it's fairly large. Have you heard anything similar like that? Something pale, something big.
She looks over and she's like, I don't know. I've never. I don't think I've ever seen a dog in the slums, except for Scuggy, obviously.
Well, Scuggy's a very good boy, and as scary as he can be, I doubt he can drive out the entire slums out.
No.
Eric, can I talk to you for a minute?
Sure. Kind of go to a corner.
Mm-hmm.
You know that thing that you can do where you can sense things?
Yes.
Considering the population of the area is down significantly, if we go to this area, do you think you might be able to sense if anything's about? And she's saying it hushed, understanding that, you don't just talk out loud in front of probably very superstitious people about brain magic.
I can probably see if it's something else. I can usually discern if something's an animal or a humanoid of any kind. If I can probably try to lower it down, I suppose. If it is an animal, I think that That's a good idea. Good thinking.
I think this woman's anxiety is pretty high. Maybe we should do what we need to do, and unless you can think of anything else, let her and the baby
No, she needs to rest.
fortify them as much as they can. And
I agree. I walk back over to Alva and I pull out some silver from my pocket, grab her hand, and press it to her palm. It's like, thank you for your help. If you are too afraid to stay here, come to my clinic. You won't have any harm there.
Okay. I'll do what I can.
Take care of yourself. And baby, Helga.
Yes. I will.
All right. Think we should clear out. Hugo, where'd you go?
I'm outside, mate.
He's fixing things again.
Taking many, many measurements.
It's like, I think we'll escort ourselves out. I feel like I opened the door and accidentally smack Hugo in the face. Well, what are you doing standing in the door for?
Measuring it.
Like,
is that good? Did you break my nose again?
no, but it's always crooked.
Fuck off.
It is.
You're gonna give me a thing where I don't like how I look.
Self-esteem issues.
Yeah, that's the one.
You're too cocky for that.
Yeah, probably.
So, I think we should do some just scouting around the area, just to see if there's any.
what if
I'm kind of like looking at Ada, just like, don't say it in front of the new guy. We don't know him like that yet.
why don't we head to that shrine where people were leaving stuff behind?
That sounds good. And I'm gonna let Torfin and Ada take the lead, and I'm just kind of going to grab Hugo's arm and just kind of look at him. It's like, I'm going to quickly do something. Make sure I don't run into anything.
So, once upon a time, I was building out this frame, right? Now, I'm just going to start talking about the most inane frame. Just walking, with my hand on Eric's arm. Just like, nah, you got to listen to the story. You didn't listen to it last time. Knowing that you probably can't hear me.
Cool.
As we're walking, and hopefully, Torfin and Ava are in the front, I'm going to cast Sense Minds just in this area of 100 yards to see if I can pick up anything weird that's not human, but maybe a big dog type of thing.
Cool.
It's a big doge.
He's a big dog.
Big doge.
I pet that dog.
And I
Pet
pet
that
that
dog.
And
dog.
considering what that lady was talking about, Ada has taken out her bow and
Heck
is
yeah. I definitely hit that. That's 16 already.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, nah.
Nice.
And target's 13.
Mhm.
I nailed this. So
16 plus.
Weirdly no plus. Just need to roll. Oh wait, spell power is
It'll be your
it's
see,
18.
if you've already beaten it, but it's all
Yeah. 18 if it matters.
good. Cool. And so does that tell you minds that are differentiating between minds, or is it just
Anything creatures with intelligence with an intelligence rating within 100 yards, as well as the approximate number and general type, an approximate location, so I can tell if something's a person or an animal.
Or a creature.
person or an animal? Hold on a second.
Yeah, person, animal, and it says etc.
Okay, cool.
So it's I can kind of differentiate. I can probably tell that's a human, but I can't tell if it's a woman or a man. It's just a humanoid. Probably
Yeah.
just like, I can't even tell. Like, it might be a dwarf, it might be that. I don't know. I know it's people.
Yeah.
Creature.
Doesn't
I know
sound
Did you
like
did you
one
say?
part.
Sorry, just quickly. Also, there, just a funny note there. Did you say with an intelligence rating?
Yes.
Period.
Yep, creatures with an intelligence rating.
Okay.
So,
Interesting.
yes. I feel like
So she
that-
can't sense worms.
Cannot sense.
She can't
Well, it's
sense
also
worms.
I'm
pigeons.
curious if that means that it's just like anything that technically has like basically has a stat block, or if it means it has to have an like a positive intelligence rating. I guess.
I actually
You
don't
can have a
know.
negative.
Oh, meaning like if you were to go like if you had like an intelligence rating of say 0, or yeah, potentially negative. Yeah, I think there are some creatures that have negative stats.
Yeah, maybe.
So yeah, I'm curious. I might have to hit up Troy about that. 100 yards from where you are, as you are wandering through.
Kind of slums.
Yeah, these like you're wandering through the slums and seeing like, there is, yeah, reaching out, you sense a number of human minds, all seemingly fairly still where they are, as far as you can tell. And you like you gather like looking around. There's a like working out the different spaces. You're like, okay, there's like 2 people in that house. There's 3 people in that house. There's 1 person in there. It is, you gather there's a lot of people who are still basically have taken to just shoring themselves up in their houses. There are a few. I'm trying to think of how to put this. There are a few. Here's how I'm going to say this. There are a few presences that you feel it's almost like they're hard to pinpoint. And they are very, very faint. Almost as if like there's almost like it's almost like as if you're looking at a photo or a screen or something, and there's something like a blotch that's showing up that you're like, is that there or is that just my eyes like in the light or something like that? Like that sort of stuff is happening in a few spots across the space around in your radar, as it were.
Interesting.
But almost you feel like as they pop up, you go to focus on them and they sort of just disappear.
Quantum intelligence, when you look at it, disappears. Like me, whenever I have to do math.
Can you... I'll say, because you did roll really well and on this idea, like, with this idea, can you roll me an intelligence test, please?
Absolutely. Can I put in Mind Arcana on top of that?
Mind Arcana would not be so much a thing on this one.
Can't blame a girl
this
for
is
trying.
This is more like figuring out what it is, sort of thing. Or like,
Damn, rolling well today. Yay.
Yeah.
And I have points. I have stunt
Nice.
points. Do, do,
We need to
do.
bless those dice. Hamana, 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 hamana.
Do. I'm gonna say efficient or speedy. That like
Yeah.
I'm trying to get quick because this thing is like going away very quickly. If I'm trying to focus on that, I'm trying to be quick about it and see if I'm like, okay, what are you? And that is a 23.
You note that whatever that the own like, are you quickly like deduce like thinking about this and looking at it going like, that's a weird little anomaly, and it's happening enough that you're like, that's not just my brain, like that's not just me mucking around. You looking at that, it's like, it's not a human, and it's not an animal necessarily. You gather that for it to be giving this signal, but that sort of like erratic, faint signal, it is there is technically a mind there, but by all senses, it in many ways it shouldn't be there.
Interesting.
You would gather. Sorry,
I feel like honestly, Eric his feet would start walking towards it, kind of just instinctively, just to be like, because his mind's so focused on, I'm trying to follow this thing. I feel like his body, because I feel like how it's kind of like Xavier. It's like he's not actually seeing the world in front of him. He's just seeing minds in the back of his head. Yeah. So I feel like he's literally just trying to walk towards it.
You also gather for it to be that faint, there's also a very good chance that it is at least currently dormant.
So instead of like a light, as in like a lamppost, it's kind of like when you're really tired early in the morning and you see the splotches around it.
Yeah. It's really that sort of like, you're seeing enough. So think of it like you're looking at, sort of a map, bird's eye sort of map area, and you've got like these bright little beacons. You've got one space that there is enough discoloration that you're sitting there like trying, almost like you'd be sitting there trying to get like a better look at it, to be like, have I like spilt something on that, or is but then it's, so there's enough there that it's got your intention, but you can't focus in on it. It's not bright enough or like distinct enough to pinpoint. And you can definitely, it's like that. It's enough there that it catches your attention to the point that you're like, what would give off a signal like that? Because it's consistent enough, and there's a few of them around that it's consistent enough that you're like, that's not a muck up. So it's sort of like going, okay, in that case, it's something that is A, dormant, and B, it's the magic's struggling with identifying it as a mind, shall we say.
Yeah, Eric's gonna just naturally just try to walk in the direction of where it is.
Just gonna guide you around. No, that's a barrel. Yep. Yes, and
so
that's
you
how I
like,
figured out that it was
are
a
you just
Philip and not a spell.
Let me just veer off?
No, I'm wherever you guide me, I'm trying to make it look like I'm guiding you to a certain place, as to not give away the fact that you cannot see at the moment.
Yeah. Like,
I'm trying to use empathy to read your body language in order to guide you on a path instead of walking you into a wall. So I'm not sure if you can see walls.
I mean, fair point.
Unless this is a daredevil situation.
So the two of you going off and walking, Ada. Yes. And I imagine Torfin, you are heading into the center of the slums, as it were. It's hard to call it the center of anything, but what you have in this sort of town square in a way, you quickly find this small, it is a small gnarled tree. In the center of a large courtyard, if you could call it that, a large open expanse of road. In the middle there is this sort of gnarled, pale tree, which has sort of like lichen and moss growing down the sides of its trunk that spill out onto a sort of mound over this central point of this like very large roundabout, essentially. Around the edges of the tree trunk, you see small statues underneath which are these rusted iron bowls, which are very clearly like parts of, essentially like drums or other pieces that have just been like haphazardly worked into being these bowls. Putting Ada, you very quickly recognize these little statues to be crudely carved effigies of the gods. Specifically, in this case, the gods that are known to have perished during Ragnarok. You know that most people know that the gods that died during Ragnarok in Hymgard live in a very weird sort of Schrodinger's cat situation for most people. Being that sense where most people go, yes, we know they died, but where does a god go when they die? Like, would they not just go back to Asgard? And like, yes, Thor died at Ragnarok, but we still have like thunderstorms. So, what happens? So they are generally known as the Ascended, are the ones that died during Ragnarok. So people still generally like give offerings and pray to them, sort of more out of just superstition and prosperity rather than any actual sort of belief or like faith, shall we say? Strolling around this area, you also see that from the branches of this tree there are like sort of bones and skulls hanging in various areas, different piles of like driftwood that someone's pulled out of the river. Eventually, like wandering around the trunk of the tree, you come to a statue of Not. Not is generally believed to be the personification of nighttime. Essentially, she is a very tall, elegant, but very sharp-featured woman. Believed to be both, in a similar way that you would understand with some of your people, believed to be a treacherous and somewhat mischievous god, but also one known to be a very protective and comforting figure for many, but generally is considered to be like, is sort of a in many ways I'd see it as being like she's generally considered to be a cure-all for evils of the night. Essentially she is looked to for protection in dark times. She and you do see below her little sort of like this little carved totem statue in the bowl beneath, there are a number of offerings left behind. You see that there are a few coins, but for the most part it is what at this stage is fairly stale or rotten food. As it seems like this has been, that food that's possibly been left out for a couple of days.
Well, that'll attract rats.
Is there a little statue of Heimdall?
There is.
At all?
Yeah.
So Ada will just kind of slightly wander up to that and just like neaten it up a little.
Mm-hmm.
Just like make sure clean it a little. And then have a look around further, like, is there anything lurking? Watching them.
Mm-hmm.
As
Roll
this
me.
Is center epic of town.
Roll me a perception test. Torfin, what are you doing?
The statue to the goddess whose name has just completely slipped my mind.
Not.
Not. That's it. Not that one.
Not that one.
Terrible.
Lord.
Sorry, bad joke.
We got not. We got duh.
Is there any? I'm going to inspect the little the effigy, the statue, and the offerings. Are they all food? Is there any like anything worth value, or do I know anything about like what traditionally would be offered to the gods, or is it just whatever people can afford?
Generally speaking, you know that there are certain things that you do and don't. Actually, first of all, give me a intelligence test. If you have a religious law, you can add that.
Definitely not. Ooh, still a 14.
Cool. So you definitely know from your travels, a lot of the different realms have, and different cities have different ways of honoring the gods. But you also know that generally it's pretty much considered that there are certain things that you do and don't give to as offerings to certain gods. For instance, for Frey and Frey, giving anything boar related, especially anything that is proven that you have, anything that is like boar, like meat, bone, skin, anything like that, is an insult of the highest order. It is basically it's basically you just going like, yeah, go on, curse me. Like, so, similarly with like, trying to think here. Like, yeah, with Odin, ravens are the main thing, that it's like anything raven related is generally considered a no-no. Same thing, like, but then also you have certain gods that, like, you know that 90% of the time mead is a really big general sort of like, you're good with any of us sort of thing. And there are certain gods that obviously, like, certain things will be more believed to be more appeasing. But generally speaking, like, but that is also for those who are able to pick and choose what they give. You would know that in this case, like in a situation like this, someone going out of their way to give to give exactly what the god would look kindly upon would be, I've saved up for like 2 weeks to buy this one thing, so this better work. Whereas in most cases, people will just bring like any money or like food they can spare to give as offerings.
Okay.
Blood's a big thing as well. Sorry, just so you're aware.
Yeah.
Blood's a big thing. Sacrificing blood to gods. Who would do that?
No, we talk about that.
Yeah.
No.
Just rummaging through. Anything stand out? Like anything on Not's small altar that could be taken poorly? Maybe not a curse me right now kind of deal, but a little less favorable.
Looking it over, like, besides the fact that, you know, as I said, like, a lot of the food is spoiled, but you gather that that's probably A, par of the course for where you are, and B, just the fact that it's no one's cleaning it up. There doesn't seem to be anything that leads you down the idea that this is, like, there's nothing in there that is genuinely like a, oh, yeah, no, that's a no-no. Not really.
Well, at least they keep the gods happy as they make us. So
The gods make us happy.
You're not there.
that's it.
Yeah, you were lured away by me.
So,
I rolled a 15.
brain's like, what?
You just hear echoes on the wind.
What is this bullshit?
The gods suck.
That's fact.
What were you rolling for? Sorry, Aiden? I was.
Perception.
Right.
What did you get? Sorry?
15.
15. Looking around, you don't see anyone watching this area. There doesn't seem to be. Everything seems quiet. Everything seems pretty still.
Eric.
It's pretty quiet. It's pretty still. But, like, there's something has to be going on because these people wouldn't leave the little homes they do have have to deal with guards every day. Ain't nobody
I
got
don't
time.
think. I don't think living under a guard's boot while trying to get out of whatever the hell is happening here. What strikes me as odd is that, and it probably is just par for this place, that no guards come down here to see what's going on, and no one wants to talk about what's happening here. Something odd.
The guards may have come eventually, but I think it would have to be that the powers that be have to be inconvenienced enough by the flood of people.
Well, those alleys are looking very tight-packed. Maybe just not for long enough yet, but...
No, it'll be like when there's a riot or a disease outbreak that affects them. That's when they'll care. If they're staying in line, they're not going to do nothing.
Typical. Well, I didn't see anything too strange here, but
Have you seen the others?
I think they wandered off before
Jesus
some. I assume that's very normal for them.
Just Ada then tries to like figure out where they've gone.
Try it. Yeah.
Off on another street somewhere, you have been following for a few minutes, trying to follow these blotches.
Are they still or moving? You said they were dormant, so I'm guessing they're...
The trouble that you find as you get closer to them is they are, first of all, like, very faint, but also being very faint, they're not very distinct. And as you're wandering, you're almost feeling like, oh no, I've walked past it, and you sort of like turn back and like go back a bit, and then you go, no, it's over there, and then like wandering over, and then finding that you're essentially almost feel like you're circling it almost, or you're like it's like you're dodging it almost, essentially. But
Eric, we already walked down here.
I almost got it. Just it's
you're-
near here. I can feel it. It's just
Sorry, Dragon.
that's right. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be like it doesn't quite make sense. There's something in this that's, you almost feel like something's masking it, or not move, like it doesn't seem to be moving. Every time you look at it, every time you think, like, focus on it or try to focus on it, it's still, but it's not, like, it's almost not tangible.
I can't pinpoint it.
Or it's very like, it's like, as I said, it almost feels like you're getting in, like, from one mind, rather than getting this like single bright beam, you're getting this like faint glow, as if you're like, okay, somewhere in this blotch there is a mind, sort of, maybe.
Eric, describe it to me, mate. What is it?
It's not. Each mind is like a ping of light. I can see it clearly. I can tell what it is. There's no light here, not what it usually is. It's faint. It's vague, broad. I can't pinpoint it.
Is this a rainbow situation?
It's the best way you can just.
refraction of light. You go towards it, it moves. But if it's around a localized area, then you're not seeing it. What you're seeing is like, it's like two magnets of a same polarities, the same two positive magnets. They're always going to push each other around, but they're going to be there. Is the mind underground, or is it around us?
It's around. I can't tell if it's underground. It's around here. That's what I can say. I can't pinpoint where. It's like I'm looking through fog.
Now, sorry, I'm trying to remember the lady's name. Ava, was it?
Alva.
Alva. Did while I was taking measurements, did Alva mention something about it happening at night?
Yeah, she said it usually happens at night. It feels
Mostly.
quiet, like it's
Do we think this could
sleeping.
be a ghosty situation?
Don't be ridiculous. Ghosts don't exist.
Do I think ghosts exist? Almighty GM?
You could more than happily decide that.
Absolutely, ghosts exist. I once saw my great grandmother when I was walking past a graveyard once. She stared right at me.
Okay, there was one time that the dead arose, and those days are long gone. The dead are very much back.
She just wanted
Back.
a pint.
Can I do an arcane lore to
Mhm.
see what I know about this? Because
Roll
Oh,
me,
I think-
yeah. Roll me an arcane lore check.
Oh. $16.
16. Cool. You're thinking about what would cause a mind to be dim and broad like this. You gather, like, to be picked up in this way. You gather that as you know, previously discussed, you gather that first of all, there's something off about it. Like it's like the idea of it being if something that is human or animal shows up like a Christmas light, then it's neither of those. It's potentially neither of those things. Secondly, you gather that another very good point is that it's dormant at the moment, as in it is quite literally hibernating. Or, like shut down. And a very good potential for that right now is that it's nocturnal. As you've discussed previously, the fact that the, chaos seems to happen at night, or things seem to be happening at night, suggests that whatever this thing is, it fights at nighttime.
What time of day is it?
Say at this point, it's probably about pushing midday.
I reckon we should come back in about 5 hours.
Like, wouldn't it be better to get the jump on it while it's dormant?
I mean, I'm happy to go 4 hours and do a stakeout.
I don't think I can keep this up for that long.
Oh, that's all right. I scrape my foot. Probably go through my back pocket and just put an X on the ground. There we go.
I feel like I'm going to agree with Hugo and kind of just give up, allowing my vision to return, just kind of look around, figure out what the hell am I?
Oh yeah, we walked for ages.
Yeah.
Do you think you can be able to find your way back here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Do you have chalk on you?
Obviously. I've also
Cool.
got crayons.
Lovely. Let's make a line as we go. Yeah.
How much bloody chalk do you think I've got? I
Enough.
walk over, I start putting like little circles on the side of buildings as I'm walking past. or like a L and a circle with an L and an R for turning left or right.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna try to find our way back to the group.
Cool.
Ida!
Yeah. The four of you reconvene fairly quickly. It's not a big space. Ada, I'll say, like, just because we do need to wrap this up. Ada, you quickly put together, like, well, actually both of you quickly put together that essentially, with all of this, the fact that a lot of the offerings being made to Not makes sense. It is essentially the main danger comes at nighttime. We do not care about prosperity. We do not care about fortune. We just want to survive the night.
Yeah. I guess we come back here at nighttime.
Hopefully the gods will keep us safer than they've kept those here so far. But I'm not holding my breath.
Seems the creatures or whatever they are nocturnal, so it should be right until we get back. We'll go sharpen that blade of yours. I've also got some other work in the workshop I need to get done today.
Cool. And as the four of you head off back to prepare for a night of chaos, that is where we're going to end today's session. Thank you all very much for watching. This has been a lot of fun. And welcome to Dylan, our new warrior.
Yep. I can't wait to be so useful at the start of the next session, but having no social skills. Maybe I was like, oh man, I'm just so stuck here, but I'll shine soon.
Being stoic is social skills.
It's
so against what I usually play. So
yeah.
Get into it a bit.
Cool. Yes, we will be definitely. There will definitely be more for next session. But yes, thank you all very much for watching. If you are watching this on YouTube, don't forget that we stream every second Thursday over on Twitch, so you can watch the episodes live if you're up to date. But yeah, don't forget to check out our wonderful channel affiliates and go and check out our other wonderful players. They're all doing amazing stuff as well. But with that all said, we will see you all next time. Bye-bye.